Are you asking yourself whether you should learn to code websites? Don't worry, you're not alone, and you haven't been alone for a long time. Since the dawn of creating websites, people have been asking this question. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 7 reasons why you should learn to code websites. The first reason is it's intrinsically enjoyable. And this is compared to other options like artificial intelligence, like, hey, ChatGPT, can you just make a website for me? That's totally possible. Or, hey, I've got this really cool WordPress template. I'm just going to tap here, install it. Or, hey, check in my Shopify or Squarespace template. I just click a few buttons, choose a few colors, and ta-da, it's done. That's not really intrinsically rewarding or enjoyable. Coding it yourself is. Well, it may be. For me, it is. For tons of other people, it is. But if you've got that logic part in your brain and that's like, pretty active, you will love coding. Why? Because when you fix something, it's fixed. When you do something, it's done. But it's not just all mathematics and logic. There's also this subjective art design side of things, like colors and fonts and how things pair together and sizing and all kinds of subjective things like that. The second reason is you have complete creative freedom. Just like Braveheart over here. You're not bound by what's possible on the platform. You don't have to conform to the way they do things or their templates or their whatevers. You could design a mid-2000s MySpace page kind of thing with so many colors and so many weird things going on. You could have cats bouncing everywhere if you wanted. On most of these other platforms, the no-code platforms, the template platforms, stuff like that's not really possible. Like, some of them allow you to do some pretty cool stuff, but when you code things yourself, you get to express yourself. You have complete creative freedom. And it's not just about the content here. There's a little sticky here that says express yourself beyond the content. So like, a website is great. You get to share your opinions, videos, your stories, like everything in the content. But I'm talking more about like the style of a website, the interactivity, how things look, how they feel. You get to do all of that by yourself. You get to have that complete control. Number 3, you have complete control and ownership. So this is not necessarily about creative control and ownership, but it's more like, hey, I built a website for myself. It's my website. So if you're like on another platform and it suddenly goes down, everything that you have and own goes down with it. Or if it gets hacked, your website, along with thousands or millions of others, gets hacked too. Another thing is that all of these big websites, no code, template kind of things, it's like they build this huge shopping mall center of a template, of a system, and you might need it for this like little tiny shop. And so you've got this like huge overhead, all of these different tags and HTML and JavaScript snippets and a backend and a whole team of people to pay and employ, and there's a lot of stuff happening. But if all you want is like a simple website, you get everything included. When you code stuff by yourself, hey, you can have this little tiny shop, and that's okay. You only have what you need. Another thing is that there's no platform lock-in when you're coding stuff by yourself. You don't have to do things their way, and you don't have to pay them every single month. Number 4, coding websites by yourself saves you money. Great if you're time rich. You've got time to learn, if you want to transition to a new career, if you like playing around with code or like doing things yourself, it's fantastic. Again, a platform requires you to pay money. So if you don't want to part with your money, learning to do it by yourself is a great reason to learn how to code. And I'll show you how to code websites that cost no money. Seriously, everything besides a domain name is completely free, the way that I teach it. Reason number 5 is that coding websites is a gateway to other types of coding, like art and graphics coding. This one on the left, I did it in processing. I didn't start by doing cool processing stuff. I think this was written in Java or Python. But once I started coding and getting into it, I was like, oh, but how do I do this? How do I do this? And just by learning a little bit more, I finally was able to code something like this with code, and it produces these random different results, beautiful art pieces, all with code. You can get into interactive coding, so like when somebody clicks this, or when they move their mouse, or as they scroll, it changes things on the screen. You can get into iOS apps, Android apps. You could even build your own no-code tools, or the next thing like Shopify or Airbnb or Uber. That all comes from people who learn how to code themselves. Number 6, you can tweak and edit code in other environments with confidence. Sometimes when you're filling in, like a template or a little box on a website, and it's like, hey, do you want to put some custom HTML code in here? Or do you want to switch this little editor to the HTML view? Well, when you know how to do HTML and CSS, that kind of stuff will start to make sense. You can take things out that don't need to be there. You can edit the HTML. You can add your own HTML. It's super powerful, super flexible. Also, if you ask AI like ChatGPT, hey, give me this website, or can you please code this part of a website, you can look through it and like tweak a few things that it didn't get right, or like once it's live and you want to tweak it, you know what's going on, and you don't have to go back to AI and be like, so you remember like 4 months ago you gave me this code, I want it updated, and it gives you a completely updated thing. No, you can just tweak a few lines of code and then it works. And sometimes developers give you code. Seriously, they're doing these amazing big things in databases and AI and all kinds of like Amazon Web Services stuff, and they still need HTML and CSS code written. And so they write it, but sometimes developers don't really write this stuff or understand it that well. They understand the logic part of it, but not really how to display information. And so this is up to you, the designer or the coder. And when they give it to you, you can understand how to tweak it, how to change it, how to make it better. And then, number 7, if you learn how to code yourself, you'll be able to speak the language of developers. And the good thing here is that you don't even have to know that much code to be able to speak the language of developers. You just need to know the basics. And the more you code, the more you know, the more you'll be able to speak to developers, which is such a huge plus in any team, in any business. Seriously, I've dealt with developers, and people that couldn't speak to developers meant that developers couldn't speak to them. There was just like this big divide in the team. There was tension. It was not good. So if you can speak developer, your boss will love you, client managers will love you, everyone will love you. Even the developers will love you. Seriously, it is such a good thing. Now, bonus tip. If you can mix your current job with coding, you're going to be way more valuable. So just being able to speak developer is super valuable already. And then this will mean that you get to bring your ideas to life, especially like in a product kind of environment. If you're like, hey, I have this idea, I want to bring it to life. Let me create a prototype at least, or let me build out this new feature by myself. Wow, that's crazy. So you can bring your ideas to life, which means you'll probably make more money because you're more valuable. Some people become a designer developer, which means they design stuff, they can prototype stuff, they can then produce something that other people use, that other people interact with online. It's such a powerful skill. What I do is I do a lot of my designing in the browser because that's where people are. That's where my final design lives. So then I don't actually use tools like Figma or Photoshop. I do a lot of my designing in the browser, which then again cuts down time. It may mean that your business doesn't need to employ another developer. They've just got you, which means you get paid more. You could also become a startup founder. You have this idea, you build out a product and you code it. You don't need to then hire somebody else or ask AI to kind of hopefully help you. And if you do know some code, you can ask AI to kind of hopefully help you and then tweak it and change it, and you'll understand what it's actually doing. There are also reasons to not learn how to code websites. I haven't covered any of them so far, but let me quickly touch on those because sometimes it doesn't make sense for you to learn how to code websites. So if creative control doesn't matter to you, you may be like, okay, cool, let's not learn how to code websites. If you don't have a lot of time, especially time to learn how to make websites and how to continue developing and continue learning how to make websites, probably not a good thing to learn or start learning. Speed. If you want to create like a Shopify store or an e-commerce store, just go create an e-commerce store on Shopify. Seriously. If you're going to recreate the wheel here, it's going to take a long time. Single use case is like if you have an idea and you're like, oh yeah, I want to start selling t-shirts. just go set up a Shopify store. You don't need to learn how to code and do a bunch of stuff just to go set up a store. See if it works first before you start to like get into the code and start tweaking things. And yeah, doing something generic like, setting up a store or a blog. Seriously, you don't need to learn how to code to start doing that. Which takes me to this point of hindering momentum. Sometimes you want to learn new stuff, but it's actually a procrastination technique that our brain uses to stop us doing the thing that we're meant to be doing. Like starting the business, like selling the t-shirts, like doing the designs, selling the t-shirts, or reaching out to potential customers. You're like, oh yeah, let me just tweak the code. Let me learn how to code. Like, yeah, if you don't need to do that kind of stuff, don't do it. But what you can do is you can do both. You can learn to code and you can set up the Shopify store. You can have your website, and when somebody clicks on the shop link, it just takes you to a different URL. Perfectly fine. Sometimes you can embed little parts of Shopify or Squarespace or other different platforms code inside your website if you need to. You can do both. So do you want to learn how to code? If you do, I'll teach you how to hand code your first website in one day. I'll show you how to do it with free tools. You do not need any experience. It will be mobile friendly. It will be good looking. You'll be able to customize it. It will look awesome. And you'll be able to share it with the world afterwards. So after 24 hours, you'll know if it's for you or not. And why this is important is because it's only one day that you'll learn how to make a website. You'll either get hooked or realize that it's not for you. So you'll turn over the coding stone and be like, yeah, that's awesome, or not really what I expected. If you understand how to code in 24 hours, you won't waste time on YouTube or other places learning how to code or piecing bits of pieces together. You'll be able to code a website in one day. And you'll know enough to learn more by yourself. I'll give you a really good foundation to learn on top of. And maybe these 24 hours will change your life. Seriously, some people that I've taught have gone from a designer and they've become a computer scientist. Like seriously, doing some heavy mathematical kind of stuff that's just like full of algorithms and really cool, weird, interesting stuff that's quite far out of my league. But if they never took the time to understand how to code a website, like seriously, that was their first step, then they may never have changed their life and be doing this thing that makes them come alive, that lights them up. Another person went from a designer to a game developer. Like that's super cool. They get to design these mobile games. They absolutely love it. They design it, they develop it, they do all the code, they do the sound effects for it. Again, a life-changing moment. If they never learned how to code the website by themselves, I don't know where they would be. And then maybe all it is this opportunity to express yourself. If you've tried Paint or drawing or Procreate and it's not really for you, maybe doing something a little bit more logical could be for you. You get to express yourself in a digital way. You get to share it really easily with people all over the world. It's free, it's cheap, it's fast, and also it may be an opportunity to provide for your family better or to earn more money or to advance yourself in your career. It may be this life-changing moment. All right, if you're like, yes, I want to learn how to make a website in one day, visit this URL or click a link in the description below, and I'll see you on the other side. If you're like, no, this is not for me, totally cool either way. Thanks for watching. Hey, my name is Rich Armstrong from Tap Tap Kaboom, and I've been designing and building websites since 2007. And in this course, I'm going to show you how to hand code your first website from scratch using HTML and CSS. For me, being able to write my own HTML and CSS is more than just coding. It's a modern way of creating and expressing myself in a digital way. A website is a real thing that hundreds of people can visit and use and interact with. And being able to code it by yourself gives you an incredible advantage. You don't have to rely on other people, hack templates, hope AI gets it right, or try using complex apps to bring your ideas to life. Knowing how to code is super fun and rewarding. And when you do use templates and content management systems and AI to help you create your websites, knowing how to code will make everything easier to understand. It's like a superpower. During the course, I'll take you step by step through creating a simple website for your favorite cartoon, hero, or movie character. I explain everything in an approachable way and leave out the stuff you don't need to know. By the end of the course, you'll have made your first website that you can share with the world. You'll know the basics of HTML and CSS. Your friends will be jealous, your mom will be super proud, and you'll have a solid foundation to build on top of. So, whether you're an absolute novice or have dabbled in some web design and development before, come take the course. All you need is a computer and an internet connection.